Welcome everybody back to another chaotic lore video. Today we'll be covering the Underworlder Skithia. This has been a request from Zoa Magari. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So thank you for the suggestion. I managed to squeeze this in before the hiatus. So I want to just make sure I give you a nice little this year's nice send-off for you, Zoa. So hope you enjoy. Skithia is an underworlder and right hand to the Lord von Blut. Skithia allied herself long ago with Blut after being scorned by some of her fellow tribesmen. Convinced Blut would be more of an effective ruler of the underworld than Kaor, but will begrudgingly serve them both to further her own plans to rule the underworld. You can find Skithia in the Dawn of Peril set and Gothos Spy in Alliance Unraveled. Skithia's appearance is that of a blue demon with silver-white hair and two horns. She wears a black leather one-piece armor, leather boots with a spike on the toe, and black fingerless gloves with spikes. Skithia resembles the DC Comics character Silver Banshee. Her style is reminiscent to real-life goth girls, a style I personally find very attractive in a woman, by the way. That's just my personal feelings. Skithia is a skilled and ruthless warrior of the underworld, rival to Takinam. She's ambitious, cutthroat, and tactical. Skithia cares about nothing and no one except herself and her goals. It's the exact kind of underworlder Blut likes in his orbit, albeit under his rule. Skithia doesn't have friends. At best, it's allies like Blut with aligned goals for now. Skithia doesn't even like her own underworld people because of the ridicule she suffered in the past. Everyone are just tools or stepping stones to greater machinations. But Skithia hates Takinam and Interest the most. Skithia's favorite locations are Gothos Tower, Initiative Speed, all creatures not named Lord von Blut lose 10 courage. Lord von Blut gains invisibility, strike 15. Flavor text reads, the horrific home of the harrowing Lord von Blut. And the Lava Pond, Initiative Speed. Fire attacks deal an additional 5 damage. Damage dealt by air attacks is reduced by 5. Magmon gains plus 5 fire. Her favorite attack is Heart Sink, which she created herself. 15 attack, stat check, courage 75. Look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's attack deck. Put one on top of that deck and the other on the bottom. And favorite battle gear, the Whip Crack. Equipped creature gains 15 power. If equipped creature is underworld, it gains plus 5 fire. Life growing up in the underworld isn't as easy for underworlders on the best of days, but especially for Skithia. Due to her strange intensity, she was treated like an outcast, left to survive on her own with no one to understand or help her. Eventually, like the wise Yoda once said, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And just like Darth Sidious, Lord Von Blute came and fanned the flames of that hatred. But Skithia wasn't dumb. She knew he's only using her to further his agenda. Skithia saw an opportunity to use Blute to take on and hopefully defeat her enemies for her. To use Blute. And once he's weakened from the battle, she'll swoop in and attack when he's most vulnerable. For the time being, Skithia will play the loyal servant and assist as much as possible to get Blute in the perfect position so she can just seize it without much struggle on her end. We're first introduced to Skithia in Season 1, Episode 11, Lord of Treachery. Kaz meets KO for the first time, and the underworld leader had a request for the player. KO plans on meeting Lord Von Blute at Gothel's tower, but he wants to be prepared and just in case there are any tricks. Kaz ports back to Chaotic where he meets a player named Matt Meister. Not only he has Gothel's tower in his deck, but he's the only player at this point in the series with a Blute scan. While playing a match, Kaz discovered Blute gains invisibility while in Gothel's tower. With this info, Kaz ports back to the underworld as KO is meeting Blute. Negotiations obviously fell through, and the two leaders engage in battle. Kaz shows up with music and spectral viewers, but Blute somehow had counters ready to disarm them. Despite the small setback, KO manages to defeat Blute, and Takinam arrests Skithia and the other of Blute's cronies, including Matt Meister, who set up Kaz at the beginning at Blute's orders. It'll be a while before we see Skithia again, not until the lead up to the Marillion invasion. When the Marillion Falfor was released from the ice and brought to Kaor, he weaved a tall tale about all the tribes living in harmony under the Marillion rule with the Kothika at the center. But Kaor wasn't falling for it. The one thing all the tribes agree on was never open the doors of the mines, which Falfor claims is where the Kothika is. Falfor tried brainwashing Kaor, but his will was too strong for the lone Marillion. Falfor escapes and ran to Blute, who bought the lie wholesale. However, Skithia, like Kaor before her, knew Falfor was full of it. But despite her uneasy feelings towards this new ally, Skithia had to follow Blute's orders because he wanted that power by any means. Blute and Skithia marched their army to the doors of the deep mines and opened it, releasing all the Marillions trapped there. Sometime when the Marillions started corrupting locations, Blute was among the brainwashed creatures. The remnants of Blute's forces along with Skithia went MIA during the entirety of the invasion, while the Tribal Alliance took care of this new tribe. When the invasion ended, Skithia felt it was safe enough to return to Gothel's tower. Blute was severely punished and forced to work in the coal mines of the underworld because he caused so much damage to Param by opening the doors. So for a period, Skithia was ruling in Blute's absence, but she knew he would return and ready to give the Lord back his throne. And I have to interject here because this always confused me. Skithia, what are you doing? You know what Blue did, and this is your chance to rule. Blue is in prison and all of his forces answer to you. You don't have to give up anything. I'm not sure if the writers are planning a long con for Skithia. Maybe Skithia wants to lull Blue in a false sense of security, so one day she'll be the last person he'll expect to betray him. Or maybe Skithia hopes getting him into these dangerous skirmishes, he die in battle, and she, as second in command, his forces will automatically answer to her without question. Who knows? I'm just speculating, but back to the lore. The last time we see Skithia is in Season 3, Episode 9, Threshold of Destruction. After the secret gets out about Dranicus' threshold, Clay and Cristela go to find Blute. They tell him about Dranicus being a portal to the past and strike a deal. They're the only ones allowed entry to the past to get rare skins, and they'll tell him how to open the portal. The deal was struck, and Blute, Skithia, and what's left of the Blute's loyalists mount an offensive attack on the location. However, Nadrin was warned, and many tribes show up and stop Blute. And with a heavy heart, Nadrin blew up Dranicus, preventing any further misuse. Skithia was arrested along with Blute and the army. For now, this is Skithia's story arc until the show returns. And maybe we'll get to see Skithia finally make her move in a massive hostile takeover Blute never saw coming. Skithia, Underworld Commander. +5 fire. Fire attacks made by this creature deal an additional 5 damage. Flavor text reads, Von Blute's most trusted aide. Skithia is also Takinam's avowed enemy. Skithia, Gothos Spy. Underworld Commander Scout. The controller of the target engaged creature reveals their attack hand. Deal 5 damage to that engaged creature for each elemental type either of those reveal attack cards have. And that was Skithia. And the completion of this year's list of chaotic lore videos. I hope you guys had an amazing time. I know it was a little spotty in certain areas. Usually I have them pretty efficiently. There's a lot been going on personally, but hopefully I can get back to relative normalcy next year. But right now it's going to be an official hiatus. It's officially October, so chaotic lore videos will return somewhere between next February to March. So I'll have a nice new list coming forward. So look forward to that. But in any case, thank you all for your recommendations. Like you, Magari, and as well as all the others who made their recommendations. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Leave a comment below. Let me know what other lore videos you really want me to talk about, and I can put on a list for next year. This one kind of sprang up out of, fairly recently. I was planning on making this the first video of the new year. However, I thought it'd be poetic to talk about an underworld creature at the start of October, right before I end the hiatus. So this is a nice little meet cute. But anyway, hope you all enjoy. Take care. See you all soon. And enjoy future videos and content I'll still be putting out because the Halloween season now. I have some videos to put out. So hope you guys tune in for that. So in any case, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.